And let's officially get started, you guys. It is November 28th. Happy Monday to you guys. I am filled with tremendous levels of gratitude. I hope that you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving with your family. I saw your pictures and the food and the experiences. I got to go to the city, and I want to share this experience with you guys. If you've never done this before, go to the San Francisco Symphony over the next 3 months. What they do is they curate, they show a movie, and then all of the entire musical score is done by a live symphony. It was one of the coolest things I had experienced. If you've never seen The Godfather, obviously I've seen The Godfather, but I've never seen it done with a live symphony. It was one of the most beautiful, magical things that I've ever been able to witness. So I'm coming off a really exciting weekend, super happy, super grateful. So I want to turn to one of you guys, as always, to bring us out on the field on this beautiful, glorious Monday morning before we get the train started. Also want to encourage you guys, if you're not driving, if you're in a safe spot, I want to have you write down some questions today. We're going to brain dump. We're going to get introspective, and we're going to walk out of here very clear of what we're going to create this week. So I'm actually going to turn it over to Kwanzo, big dog. It's been a while, my man. He was, I followed you with your push-up journey and everything that you've done. You've taken your business to new heights, my man, turned everything around this last year. So super excited to have you here today with us again. So Kwanzo, bring the team out on the field on this beautiful Monday morning.
Man, thank you so much. And good morning, everyone. Hope everyone excited. I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving with your loved ones, ate a lot of good food, and now you guys are ready to work all that off, over this weekend with the Spartan Challenge, and everyone's mindset is right. I was watching the financial news with Michael Zuber this morning, and he said right now, I think we have about 33 days left for till the end of the year. So I think it's really thinking about what can we do in next 33 days to, get help to get our clients in a contract or get their home sold, to really help them to move on to that transition to that next stage in their life. So I hope everyone is ready, excited, and ready to rock.
Man, I love it. So you guys, as we get started, I'm curious because you guys were all out hanging out with the family, doing special things. I wrote a note here, and I wanted to ask you guys, what was the most special moment for you over the last couple of days? Was it spending time with grandma? Was it grandma giving you the stuffing recipe? Was it, putting olives on your kids' fingers like you did when you were a kid, when you were at grandma and grandpa's house? Like, what was that special moment for you guys? I want you guys to light up the chat down below, share if there was a special moment, if there was a run. I actually threw up. If that's special, because I don't necessarily eat butter. I don't eat all the other stuff that's in the food, and I just ate too much. And I'm drinking the gallon of water every single day. So I drink about 30 gallons of water, and then I ate, and I didn't overindulge in any way, shape, or form, but there's just stuff in the food that's so good, that makes it so good, like butter, and it like expanded in my stomach. I got sick, but that was one of the most memorable things over the course of the last couple of weeks. Silas is crying. So wanted to share that with you guys. But I heard something the other day, and I wanted to share this thought with you. Sorry, Silas is crying. So I want to share this thought with you. I was looking over some notes the other day, and I saw this, and I thought it makes a really direct impact on us right now. What are you doing right now to make an imprint on society? I heard that, and it really stood out to me. When I'm thinking about what you guys are doing right now on social media, I want you guys to look around. There is people on this team that are literally within their first month of being a realtor, and they're creating a video a day, like literally like making an imprint on society. And I heard that. And I want you guys to look at not just the real estate industry, but I want you to look at business, and I want you to look at commerce. Think about some of the largest corporations. Think about companies that are trying to hunker down and figure out ways to cut costs in the way that they're advertising, spending, and doing their marketing. What you're going to find is that one of the highest ROIs right now is their ability to create video. So what they're doing is, just like us, we're building content rooms, we're getting the lighting, we're getting the mics, we're getting everything that you guys will need in order for you to make an imprint on society. And so That's where the business is going. That is going to be your highest ROI because you're able to really gauge it and figure out what's not working, what's working, how many likes, how many views. And then you'll be able to say, damn, something hit in my story and I got tons of DMs. Guess what? I'm going to create a video on that. So you guys, how are you making your imprint on society? Now, this is not going to be a conversation about social media. We've had enough of those conversations. But what I do want to have you guys do is look inward and say, how am I making an imprint on society right now? I thought it was really, really powerful. Right now, this is your best ROI. If some of you are cutting costs, if you don't have the money, if you can't afford to go out and buy leads and farm and mail and all those things, your highest ROI right now is going to be your ability just to get in front of the camera. I promise you guys that. And this is where the business is going. So I just want to share that with you. Leave that as a thought today. Write that down. Do whatever you got to do with it. But how are you leaving an imprint on society right now? There's some of you right now that are showing up in a massive, massive way. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to continue to grow. So I want to share some thoughts with you guys, and I want to ask you guys, I have about 15 questions here that I want to ask you guys. But before we do so, I want to share something I read this morning, and it's about courage. We think of courage often as being unbreakable, and that's not what courage is. Courage means getting back up when you were broken, because your kids are watching, because the cause, the purpose, the mission needs you, because defeat is a non-negotiable in your eyes. So you got to think about it, you guys. I've said this time and time again, there's people that are looking up to you, looking for you, reaching out for you, that need you to have the most courage that you've ever had in your life and business right now. This business is going to be tough over the next couple of months. So you have to choose. Am I going to get beat up, or am I going to stand up and am I going to really learn how to fight in this market? So I want to share that sentiment with you guys. I want to ask you guys a series of questions right now to really set your intention for the week and be clear as to what you're going to create. If you don't know on Monday morning right now at 8:30 a.m. how your entire week is going to look, then you are going about this haphazardly without a plan, without zero intention. We have some thoughts of how we would like our week to go, but if this is not planned out and you don't have a clear path ahead of you, then you're doing things by chance. And I don't believe in working in this business by chance. So I have a series of questions that I want to ask you guys. Feel free to write them down if you're not driving right now. But first question is, if you were to open up your calendar right now and share it with all of your brothers and sisters on this call, what does your calendar look like right now? What's on your calendar? Do you have a calendar that you can reflect to? Do you have a calendar that you're going to be disciplined with this week? So first question is, what does your calendar look like? If you were to look at just this week, and let's just say we're working 5 days, all right? Most of you are probably going to work open houses on the weekend. So whatever your number is, 5, 6, 7, I don't care. How many calls are you going to make this week? When on your calendar have you put your prospecting time? Me and Mel had a coaching session last week, and she has it on her calendar of the times where she's committed to making phone calls no matter what. How many videos will you post on social media this week, right? What is that intention? What is that goal, right? Well, I don't know. Well, okay, listen, I'll make it really easy on you. Maybe start out with 3 to 5, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you create a video and you release that between 8 and 9 a.m. Okay, I'm just food for thought here. All right, so stay with me. How many videos will you post on social media this week? How many one-to-one videos are you committed to sending this week, right? And maybe you do the one-to-one videos in order for you to get ready to produce something that's going to go out to the mass public, right? What's going on, Carmen? I just want to say hi. Happy anniversary to you. Happy Thanksgiving. What's up, Quant? It's been a long time, bro. I see that you were getting ready for the Spartan race, man. Hey, man, I just want to say that all of your fitness journey has been super inspiring over the course of the last year. Hopefully you go and crush it this weekend. How many one-to-one videos are you going to send this week? Do you have that on your calendar? Do you know what you're going to do? Are you going to go into Facebook daily? Are you going to go into your CRM? Are you going to go into your database? How many videos are you going to create for mass consumption? And how many one-to-one videos are you going to send out this week that you're committed to sending, no matter what, hell or high water? How many times are you going to work out this week? Right? Do you know how many times you're actually going to work out this week? I know from today until Sunday, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to work out 14 times, no matter what, this week. No matter what. 14 45-minute workouts this week. I know that. I'm committed to that, no matter what. We'll use script role play this week. And obviously we have our script role play sessions on the calendar at 10 o'clock. Everyone is open to come to that. But are you going to practice the things that you know you need to practice on right now? Are you going to set aside some time to warm up your lyrics? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Are you ready? Are you ready to get on a call with the seller? Tom, I know that your house has been sitting on the market for 30 days and I understand why your house is not sold. It is because of exposures, because of marketing. Have we shared with you our strategy and how we've sold over 1,000 homes in your market over the last 2 years? Listen, Tom, you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't spend 10 minutes with me learning about our marketing strategy. Do you guys understand what to say to a FSBO, to an expired, to talk to somebody that's on the fence? Do you have a clear script that defines why this is the best time for a millennial to purchase a home right now in the Bay Area? We're coming to what is called the bottom of the market in regards to prices. Some markets will always remain high, but let's talk in generality. There is markets right now that if you are young and you're looking to build wealth in the Bay Area, that you buy at the bottom and you hold on to that. If you have no desire to move within the next 3 years, guess what? You're going to be sitting on tremendous levels of wealth. You have prices at an all-time low right now. So millennials have an opportunity to go in and purchase a home and start building wealth. Do you guys understand the dialogue? And if you don't, be like, all right, Otis, you and I are going to get together. Aaron Grace, let's get together. Daniel Gomez, Tiger Webster, let's go. Let's go. I want to do a script role play with you guys, right? Throw me the ball, throw me the ball, throw me the ball, right? That should be on your calendar this week. Do you guys have time that you're going to do your script role playing? So stay with me. How will you condition your mind this week? What am I doing for affirmations? What am I doing for my meditation? What am I doing for my daily incantations? What am I doing to make sure that this is fucking spot on, no matter what? I am a temple. Promise you guys this. If you would have known me 15 years ago, you would have known a completely different Elias. I choose discipline. This is my standard. Discipline is a standard, but it wasn't always. I changed it. Mental conditioning. What's something that you've been putting off in your business? We all have that one thing that we've been putting off, whether it's creating video. A lot of you think, and just don't say, okay, fuck it, this is not going to be perfect. I'm just going to do it. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. What's one thing you've been putting off? And then I want you to ask why. Why are you putting that off? Is it fear? Is it, I need a little bit more training? Is it, I don't feel confident enough? What is it? Like, why? Why have you been putting this one thing off in your business? There's another question for you. In order to play bigger this week, who do I need to be? Who do I need to be? How do I need to show up in this world? In order for me to play bigger this week, who do I need to be? If you could sum up the way that you're going to show up this week in one word, what is that word and why? Mine's disciplined. That's my word, right? I'm going to show up this week disciplined, because when I know that I am disciplined, all other things in my career have gotten better. Everything. When I'm disciplined with the way that I wake up, when I'm disciplined with my routines, when I'm disciplined with the way that I greet the day, when I'm disciplined in the way that I get on these calls with you guys, when I do a business planning workshop, we're planning a huge event in January, like I need to have the highest level of discipline. So my word for this week is discipline. If I was to sum up the way that I will show up this week in one word, what is that word and why? And to wrap this up, you guys, because we're brain dumping right now and it's important. What support do you need? Who do you need that support from? And if it's me, I'm here for you. But if it's Lauren, she's here for you. If it's a homie on the call, they're there for you. But you got to ask them. But like, bro, I need some help, V. Can you help me out? I love what you're doing with your cooking videos. I love what you're doing with your real estate videos. I love the hot water bottle that's wrapped in a blanket to keep you warm. I love that shit. I love those ideas. Can you help me come up with some organic ideas? Like, what support do you need? Who do you need? So the reason why I want us to do this, you guys, is because it's super important that every single week we have clear intention, that we're super, super focused on where we're going. We're going to be doing every single week, we're going to be diving back into this. And I haven't put it on the calendar yet, but starting in the new year, we're going to start doing level 10 meetings. What the level 10 meetings is that we're going to come together. We're constantly going to review what your goals were, what your dreams were, what your vision was, what your rocks are. What are you focused on? Because this, I don't want this away. I want your vision tracker. I want this to be somewhere that you see it, it's living, it's breathing. It is somewhere that is prominent in your life. Those are some questions that I have for you guys this morning. I want you to think about your imprint on society. And I want you to really start looking at your week. And not, I'm saying week, right? What Kwanzaa said is absolutely right. About 30 some odd days before the new year. Well, what the heck am I going to do right now? Do I know what I'm going to do today? Right? Or am I going to get off this call? Am I going to go to fast forward movement? And then I'm going to start planning on my week and knowing what I'm going to do for prospecting activities, client reach out, video creation. Right? No, I got a good 3 hours this afternoon to create. So I want you guys to look at your calendar right now and know exactly what you're going to create for this week. I saw something here in the chat. Let's address this. This is, as a mom, I always feel guilty for doing things for me. My word would be guiltless. You guys feel that? At times, and Dominique, I appreciate you putting that in the chat. At times, you guys, we got to be selfish. You guys have read the book, and if you haven't read the book, buy the book, read the book, listen to the book, Winning. Winning is selfish at times. We've got to make some sacrifices, because at the end of the day, Dominique, they need you to be your very best in order to be the very best parent, which is at the center of everything for us as parents. So we got to make sure that we are 100% for them. For the parents on the screen, I'm sure you guys can agree with that. Been there, sis. You have to set time out every day, even an hour. 100%, 100%. So you guys, let's see. I am volunteering for JIT. It's an organization just in time. They help kids transition out of foster care. I think a large amount of these kids end up on drugs and homeless. Like, I love this. Maria says, serving the less fortunate every day, especially during this season. You guys have to be clear. Just be crystal clear of what needs to happen this week. So we did a little brain dumping. We did a little writing, I hope. We did a little thinking. Who would like to share? Who would like to share? Because look at what Dominique just said. And I promised you guys this in the email that I sent earlier. I promise you, if you came to coaching, somebody or someone would probably impact you. I didn't say how many. I said someone will probably touch you in this meeting. And check it out. She hasn't even taken herself off of mute, and she said something, and Iceland says, I feel that. Adrian says, I've been there. So I want to know, out of the questions that we just asked right now, who would like to share some of their answers? Or maybe a question that hit home to them, or maybe a question that really made them start to think, look inward. So I want to encourage you guys, and I want to push you guys. Don't leave me hanging this morning. I show up for you guys. I want to hear from you guys. And I want your brothers and sisters on this call, all 83 of you, to hear from each other. So who would like to share any of their answers from their questions? Who would like to say, maybe there's one question that really hit home for them? Is anybody in a position or willing to share on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning? Going once, going twice. Aaron Grace, let's hear it.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy post-Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. For me, I wrote all the questions down and I met with Yulri this weekend for the very first time, and she's one of my advisees, but she asked me about the calendar and how to prospect and when to prospect and things like that. So I'm glad that that was like the first thing on the list. I don't know if she's on, but for me, it's really digging into my script role play. Like I've been doing this for many years. And, the last couple of years, you didn't necessarily have to focus on that. And so for me, I'm really going to hone in this week and make sure that it's in my calendar that I spend time role playing and doing my script practice, because you have to be prepared. Like I know you have to be prepared for when that call comes through. You have to know what to say. And I want to be prepared as possible. Because people are still going to call. I'm doing all of the other tasks, the CMAs, the calling expired, things like that. So I have to be prepared when that seller calls me back. So I think for me, that's what stood out.
Beautiful. Like on a scale from 1 to 10 right now, if you got a call for a $1.5 million home in Cerritos, like how confident do you feel about going to that engineer's house to talk to him about selling his home? On a scale from 1 to 10, where would you rank your skill level?
I would say a good 7, 8, but I want to be a 10.
Heck yeah. Okay.
I want to be a 10. I think, and I do think that you can go into things and wing it and personality and all those things. But on an engineer's perspective, like you have to have data. You have to have like the things that they're looking for. So understanding the personalities too. But I would say like a good 7 or 8.
Wow. I love it. Okay, cool. So script role playing, anybody that wants to join, that's obviously on Thursdays at 10 o'clock. That's on Zoom. But if you feel like you're more connected in person, then schedule your own, get together with the homies at the office, do whatever you got to do. Who else wants to share some of their questions, or excuse me, their answers? Or was there a question that kind of stood out for you? Who else wants to share? Just keep this train rolling. And you guys don't be shy, or else I'm probably just going to call on somebody. Maria Dominguez, let's hear from you. What's up?
Okay, there I am. Hi, good morning, good morning.
It's in the 30s there. I know it's in the 30s this morning where you are.
It is cold, but I'm out here. And that was one of the commitments I made to myself, was that, Maria, don't sit at the desk and listen to the call. Get your ass up and start walking, because there's no excuses, right? But for me this weekend, I took the success tracker out and I sat with it. And when I was driving to Reno, I was like, what exactly are my core values? And I had a 2-hour drive and I came up with them, and they sat with me and they felt really good. So they are givers gain, number 1. Number 2, God first, family second, career third. And the final one is the golden rule. So it's like G3, G4s, and it's all led by my purpose. And so that's my word, I think, for 2023 is what am I doing today? Is this in line with my purpose? And so I'm sitting with that and I love it. And so my word for this week is, whatever I'm doing this week, is it in line with my purpose? And so for me, the biggest thing is that I tend to let myself down versus letting anyone else down. Like I'll do whatever I can for everyone else, but I won't do it for me. And so this week is about my 5 videos, my 5 reach out videos, working out 5 times a week. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm kind of loving that right now.
I'm loving it too, because think about where she took the conversation. When you start out with what your core values are and you operate within that, then you have a higher propensity to succeed, because you're doing things that you're truly, truly connected with. So I love that's where you started, Maria. And I cannot wait to see your videos this week. So 3 to 5 videos. Cool. And if there was a word that summed up who you will show up as this week, what's that word? What's one word that sums up who you're going to be this week?
Well, my tagline's I'm a realtor on a mission. So my mission is to show up and not let myself down. Okay, you said one word. I don't know. Purpose.
Purpose. Okay, cool.
Purpose.
I love it.
I'm gonna stick with that kind of word for this week.
Yeah.
So
good. Well, enjoy your brisk walk this morning. I appreciate you being here in the frigid cold, because I know it is freezing there. So let's hear from a couple other people. So Dominique, I know that you're driving right now, but You had put something in the chat. I know that you're driving, but and then Otis, I'll come right over to you, bro. Dominique, any thoughts? Where's your head at? Let's hear from you. You always have good insight.
I was trying to keep up with all the questions and stuff, but I take my daughter to school, I drop her off at 8:40. So, but as I was saying, I think my main word to live by on a daily is just guiltless. As a wife and mom, I think taking time out to do things for myself, like my goals. Sometimes when I feel like I've failed in a certain area, like within my household, but I've done things that were truly for me and my career, I still don't feel fulfilled, because then I feel bad that I lacked on that end, because maybe I didn't read her as many books as she wanted, or maybe I didn't get to cook dinner tonight. So the thing is just feeling guiltless. And I think that's what just holds me back a lot, is just feeling guilty, always wanting and needing to be there for them 100% of the time, but then I slack on myself. So like that's truly, like, if there's anything that holds me back, it's just feeling guilty. Like I'm always doing something for somebody, and I think just doing for self.
Dominique, I really appreciate you, and I know other people appreciate that. Like, I'm doing the 75-day hard. There's times where like everyone's chilling on the couch. There's times where my lady's like, oh, it's time to go to bed. There's times where it's like, Silas needs to go to bed. Like, but I got to go outside and I got to do this walk because I committed to it, and I committed to being a better person for myself. Because I know 75 days will pass. I'll have a little bit more time. But I mean, at the end of the day, when we say what we're building, how we're building, like, this shit's for them, right? When I build this empire and I leave this earth, like, this is for them. And so it's just like, hey, Dad's going to make a couple sacrifices right now in order for you guys to have the life that I never had as a child. So yeah, I might miss a meal. I might miss something. But at the end of the day, know that you guys are my driving force behind everything that I'm doing, right? I'm never going to go back to being that 12-year-old with nothing. I want them to have a nice life, and me be able to pass this beautiful rev share program over to my kids once they get their license. So Dominique, we're doing it for them. I know it's hard to realize, but I appreciate the vulnerability. Otis, let's go to you, big dog. Appreciate you being here as well, man. Let's hear from you.
The word for me, I'm gonna say, is focus. A couple weeks back, I had my brother's murder sentencing, and I had shared that I knew that I was gonna take a dip. I knew that I was gonna kind of be emotional and be going through this process, and I reached out for help. A couple of agents that wanted to partner, because I had over 100 plus leads, and my follow-up had kind of just went after court that day. And it's been almost 3 weeks, and I've been like trying to get off of it. And I've been doing the complete opposite. I've just been moping around, just down. And then past couple of weeks, I've been trying to like get myself up to get more back to prospecting, calling, and do stuff. So I thought about it. I put out a filler to some more agents to get more help, because obviously I have these leads that need follow-up, and I really put it out there to new agents, which I will do again. If you're a new agent, you're struggling to get that first deal. If you are trying to graduate and get out of the first 3 deals, follow up with me. I'm willing to partner. I'm willing to help you guys. I was once that agent that had no sales, that had nothing, was depressed, didn't know where it was going to come from a whole year, but 6 deals in the last 65 days. I want to get back into that. So I've been implementing new agents coming on, and I'm very thankful for the team. Very thankful for Stephanie. This past weekend, I drove about 1,000 miles, but hopefully today, when we get the offer accepted, I feel like that's kind of what I needed. Just that 1,000 miles out there, like literally in the back country, like straight hundreds of miles like this. It got the brain working, and it kind of got me to get back into the steps. So just thankful for that. But I know I need focus if I'm going to continue to crush it and going into 23 and trying to be a top producer. No, going to be a top producer.
I love it. I love it. And the fact that you said focus. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. Have you focused on your calendar yet this week? Is that set in place? Do you understand what you're going to be doing every day? Do you have things that are on your calendar that are going to allow you to stay focused? Does that exist right now?
Yes, I have 2 meetings with 2 teammates this week to go over facilitating some leads to them, getting a feel for them. I have 2 appointments that's already on the list, and I know I'm going to be having some more stuff come in today. I'm hunting for somebody to get this listing off of me in Vallejo. It's a mobile home. You got it for 188, 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,000 square feet. Park rent is really great. Vallejo has a cap in their space rent, so their rent's not like really ridiculous like a lot of other places you'll see where they'll range anywhere between like the 8s and 1,400s. So yeah, just looking out there, looking to partner. Like I said, I have a whole over 100 some leads. And I mean, like, tap in with me. Don't just call me one time. Like, bug me. You're gonna have to hit me. I'm not just gonna give up a piece of the pie for someone who's just gonna ask once. You gotta bug me. You gotta come meet me somewhere. You gotta do something. But I'm willing to partner with any and everybody that comes to me. So just holler.
Check this out. If you had a lead opportunity and you only followed up with Otis one time and then never hit him back, didn't send him the video, like, Otis, what's up, man? I was just thinking about you. I'm still able to work those leads for you. Like, you should treat Otis, this opportunity, or any other team member that says, hey, I have a lead opportunity, you should treat them like an online lead. You should follow up and consistently follow up until they finally say, that's the type of person I want to work this lead with me. So you guys, I just told you in the chat to hit him up. You guys should be sliding right now. You guys should be sliding right now and trying to touch base with Otis if you're at a point where you need some opportunities. So Otis, appreciate your the thought and you open it up to the team. Mike,
Also, can I say one more thing? Pay attention to the Slack, because that's how I got that partnership. It's always an agent in there asking for help. If it's not the $50, pay attention to them partnering. Even if it's the $50, go out there, go make some money. It's going to get you into the mode of doing something, because that's going to be you after you get that stuff done. So just pay.
Yeah. You guys, I look at it this way. If you don't have any homes to show right now, you don't have any active clients, then A, go on broker tour, create a bunch of video and do all the showing requests that you can and create more and more video and give that shelf life. Because now if you didn't have a consumer, you have an illusion of I'm super, super busy. I'm out touring these baller homes. Like, that's how you're going to build. So appreciate that, Otis. Mr. Spivey, let's hear from you, big dog.
All right, so chiming in regarding the word of the week. For me, it's going to be effulgence. So
say again.
Effulgence.
I've never heard that word, bro. And tell me more, please.
Yeah, so a friend of mine back in high school, he's the one that brought this up to me. He ended up starting a clothing company behind it. But by definition, it means a state of being, bright and radiant, splendor and brilliance.
Wow. I love it. Say the word one more time. Can you spell it in the chat actually for us?
Yeah, I'll put in the chat, but it's effulgence. So yeah, as far as the word for the day, that's what I'm going by. And then just something that I'm looking at for, honestly, I would say the year is, it's not about me, but it's all about me. And kind of tying into what Maria said. So it's not about me, you know, pouring into others. I believe that is the answer. So that'll forever kind of be a part of kind of the progression, the movement going forward. But it is about me. I can't pour into others unless I pour into myself. So kind of tying that back into winning and just kind of that, you know, selfish aspect of it. For me to move forward, or I believe kind of for any of us, you know, you got to buy in, you know, pour into yourself, whatever that be, whether it's education, going out, doing the videos, so on and so forth. And that'll allow you to kind of pour into others. And I feel like it translates to multiple kind of pillars and aspects of life. And yeah, that's just something that I'm gonna be rolling with for, I mean, I've been saying it to myself. This kind of just my opportunity to say it out loud, and hopefully it connects with somebody out there. But yeah, that's what I'm working with as far as the word of the week and kind of my yearly.
You know, Michael, I love this, man. And I've never heard that word before. And now I'm going to always remember this word. But in this last year, you've grown quite a bit. When you look back at your career and everything that you've accomplished, like, what do you think has been like some of your biggest like growth points? What were some things that you said, you know what, I'm turning some things around, or like you've just had tremendous growth? So like when you look back at it, was there maybe a point, was there a time, was there a moment, was there a skill, was there a habit, something you've done in this last year to really lead to the amount of growth that you've had?
I will say personal development, and personal development just coming from that personal feeling of being tired. Like, and when I say tired of maybe not losing to the outside eyes, you know, they might see success, but knowing there's more within. So yeah, just tired of wanting more, tired of knowing there's more out there, you know, tired of not achieving my full potential in a sense, I guess you can say.
Wow.
And, you know, through personal development, it allows me to look within and kind of see, okay, even though something felt right or it seemed like it was going right, there was still room for change, or, you know, just kind of that. I mean, even the 1%, just like what's that 1% of change, and that can make the biggest difference. I'm also really big and kind of going through 80-20 rule again. So just applying principles and kind of systems to not only, you know, business, but I mean, life is a game. So you got to know the rules to it, and just making all that try to tie in. So I'd say overall that kind of sums up,
Wow.
yeah, where I'm at now.
Man, I don't think I've ever asked you that question, man. I've seen your growth, but I've never asked you that question. And I didn't realize there was so much depth, but I knew that there was something there. But like saying like he's not physically tired, he's just like tired of like not, you know, settling or not having what he wanted. Like, dude, this is really powerful, man. I appreciate you sharing. So thank you, Michael. Let's go over to Sylvia. Sylvia, let's hear from you. Let's hear, like, is there some questions that you wrote down that you have some answers to? Is there a word that stood out to you? Let's hear from you, Sylvia. I don't know how to say your last name. Is it?
Is it me? Montezelka.
Yeah, that I would have said lady in red for the.
You could just say
so that's how we'll make the distinction, lady in red, right? So go ahead.
No, things that stood out, the whole mom guilt thing, because sometimes, especially now, I've been feeling it a lot lately. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. Aside from real estate, I have another business going, so I'm even more busier than ever these days. And so I'm still trying to find my balance, because I'm trying to get this up and running. I'm super new, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to structure everything. So I think this week, that's going to be my focus, is trying to figure out how I'm going to balance and structure everything and start promoting for myself.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And here's the thing. It takes a little bit of time, especially if you're balancing too, but we've seen so many people on this team that have blown up their business and left the other, you know, side business or the other business altogether, but it will come, just takes a little bit of time. That's why writing the things out, putting it on your calendar. If it means I have 8 hours a week to focus on real estate, cool. Well, what am I actually doing with that 8 hours of my time? And so it's really looking at how much time I have for the week and then dividing and conquering everything that I need to accomplish in that short amount of time. So I appreciate you chiming in, and thanks for being here. Alejandra, let's hear from you. You've been on a journey. You're creating video. You're focused on the 75-day heart as well. So like to hear from you, thoughts, insight from these questions that were asked this morning.
Just really narrowing down my calendar, what it looks like. I have, I think, a clear view of like work with my other job, and also with exercising, like especially because I'm doing the 75 hard. But when it, you know, like I'm also trying to implement like creating content, like having a full day, like, you know, going into the office or just setting up that time to create content so that I can be ready for the following week to release those videos. Like, so I can have that instead of doing it like per day type of thing.
Nice, nice. So you already have some in the queue.
Yes.
Very cool, very cool. And if there was a word for you in the way that you need to show up this week, sum it up in one word, what would it be and why?
Well, you kind of took mine, which is discipline.
Okay, all right.
I've been really in just relating with that word itself. Even like, you know, like with my housemate, like she tells me, oh wow, like you're so motivated. And I'm like, I'm not just motivated, I'm disciplined. Like motivation, I lose it, you know. I'm like, I don't always have that motivation to go to the gym. I'm tired, I can make up like 1,000 excuses, but being disciplined is what's really pushing me through.
Ooh. How many people felt that one, right? Like motivation is fleeting, you guys. Inspiration is fleeting. The discipline will carry you far past any motivation or inspiration. I appreciate that. Let's go to V. So V is one of our top producers, you know, and is still relatively new in the game. She's been in the game for about 2 years now, right, V? Like, what are some questions, answers to your questions, thoughts, and perspective on this conversation? Let's hear from you. And I meant that about your videos.
Oh, yeah, I'm really random with my videos. So this week I am going to focus on doing videos on Wednesday, just because it's in the middle of the week and then I have the time to edit and everything. One thing I have to mention when it comes to videos in general is the more that we think about it, the less we're going to take the time to do it. So if you look at my videos, they're really, really random. And I try to get people engaged and kind of show them a little bit of my personality. So for me, I'm definitely going to continue to try to do those, but not try, but I'm going to continue to do the videos. And if they're random, if they're silly, whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and do them. And also send out some one-on-one videos to my potential clients for this week. That's what I'm going to focus on, really.
So let me ask you this. So for you guys to know just a little bit of context, there's 359 agents on our team. V happens to be in the top 20 of all production for the entire company. So V, like when you're looking at your week and some non-negotiables and how you're setting up the week, what does that look like? And you know, we'd love to hear that part from you.
Non-negotiables is doing my follow-ups. I am also blocking out time to check in with like other agents, seeing how they're doing, like running their business, because I always believe that, you know, learning from others is always a great thing to make sure we have. I know that I'm always learning on a daily basis too. So what I am able to gather from other agents can help me in my business. So it's always about learning and asking for help, I would say. And my non-negotiables for sure, like I mentioned, just follow-ups, do my videos, and calling. Right now, I am actually calling the chime.
Nice.
I'm focused on that. That's what helped me get a couple of my leads when I first started. And when they say that there are gems in the chime, there definitely is.
Wow. Okay. So for the people that don't know what she's talking about, there's a lead pawn that lives with inside a follow-up boss, and it is called the chime lead pawn. You all have access to that, but here's what some people say. Those leads are dog shit. I call so many times, nobody answers. And you know what? You're in some regards, you're right. You're going to probably make a lot of calls. There probably might even have a day where you made 50 to 100 calls and nobody responded. But then you get on the call on a Wednesday morning and like 10 calls in, somebody says, actually, it's good timing. Glad that you called. So the fact that V is a top producer, top 20 in the company, yet she's still saying, you know what? I'm going to go back and dive into that lead pawn. You guys should take note on that. You guys should take note on that. Like put your ego aside, just like, all right, hey, fuck it. I'm going to go in the office. Michael, you on that side, me on this side. Let's just make some calls. Let's have some fun with it. That's why this Mayhem Monday thing is going to be so important. We'll talk about that in a moment, but V, love it. Love your contribution. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lauren, let's hear from you. Lauren, some non-negotiables, some things that you're working on. What's some questions that you wrote down, or is there an answer that really kind of resonated with you? Is there something on your notes that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest word is just persistence. Kind of replicating what everyone else kind of said, like I will let myself down before I will let anyone else down. So it's making sure that those non-negotiables for me and my specific business are non-negotiables, right? I'm committing to those. In terms of calendar, like I have obviously a core fundamental. So I'd say my calendar is like 85%, but is it minute by minute? Probably not. There's probably some opportunity there in terms of prospecting and video creation. So I definitely know like those are my kind of 911 areas I need to focus on. But I think the biggest thing is just persistence, because it's, you know, it's this time of year coming off the holiday. I'm not feeling super good. It's super easy to just be like, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. So it's just making sure to maintain momentum and making sure that that's going to go into the next like quarter, because, you know, people slow down and it's super easy to like let off the gas, myself being one of them. So I told myself that that is not going to happen. So I'm going to make sure to continue being persistent.
Yeah, God, I love that. I love that. And you know, it goes back to that discipline that Alejandro was talking about. You guys, be honest with everybody. There's days where I just am tired and I want to lay in bed and it's 38 degrees outside and the best thing on earth would just be to lay there, right? But the discipline gets me out of bed. The discipline and the commitment to self gets me out of bed. And so I hear you. I appreciate your contribution. So you guys, let's come full circle on this conversation. And first off, God, I'm filled this morning. I appreciate you guys. Like the words that I've heard, the thoughts. My intent for this conversation today was to make sure that we are staying on track and we are focused and that we are no longer hungover from the turkey and we're not going to make an excuse that, oh, it's the holidays. Bullshit. There's people that got into contract yesterday. There's people that got into contract on Friday. There's people that got into contract on Thanksgiving. So no matter what the case is, this is a time where we have to be very, very clear with what our intentions are. What am I going to create? How many reach outs am I going to do? How many hours of prospecting am I going to do? How many one-to-one videos? How many videos am I going to produce for mass consumption on IG this week? Who do I need for support? What do I need for support? Am I asking for it? Do I have an accountability person? Am I very, very clear on my intentions for the week? And that's why we just focus on this week alone. So that's why I love brain dumping on Mondays. I love writing on Mondays to get, like I said, you guys, you know my routine. It is pages and pages and pages of notes every single morning. And that's how I prep and prepare. That's part of the discipline. So you guys, I want you to be clear. I want you to reflect on your calendar and be like, okay, I know I have a purpose. I know I have a cause. I know I have a meaning. I know I have all these things that I want to create and do in my life and the family and the people, all the people I want to impact. I want to serve and I want to give back to my community, all these things. And then you look at your calendar and it's fucking empty. It's like, what? Wait a minute. Like, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If those are the things that are truly meaningful for you, then plan and put those on your calendar and have the discipline and the will to say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to do these things. We'll all get distracted, you guys. Silas is home today. I want to sit on the couch because you know what? My son loves Elf. And what 4-year-old loves the movie Elf as much as their father does? It's one of my favorite movies on earth. And all he wants to do is, Dad, watch Elf with me. Do I want to? Am I tempted to? Absolutely. But I'm pulled by a bigger cause. So it's like, wait until later. Anyways, let's go around the room and hear a couple key takeaways from everybody. And then we'll go ahead and wrap up the room. Kevin Magnan, let's hear from you, big dog. Key takeaways from today's sesh. Good to see your face on here, my man.
Hey, good morning, guys. Really good, kind of aligned with this podcast I was listening to this morning, driving my son to school, focusing on me. Without me, there is no them. And so I need to be a better version of myself. And I think Michael mentioned it earlier, you know, you think what you see on the outside is not necessarily what's happening on the inside. And that I need to focus on that. And really, that's what my week's going to be about this week, making some changes and planning some of those things to make myself better for them.
I love that. You said that, say that first part of that again that you heard on the podcast, that it's
just focusing on me, making a better version of myself. Without me, there's no them. Without me, there's no them. Dude, that's powerful, man. What podcast we listen to, just so we know, maybe we can listen to it as well. It's My First Million. It's a entrepreneur business podcast, but they had Brian Johnson on recently, who was he started a couple great tech startups in the financial space, and he's created this kind of health plan for himself called Blueprint. So look up Brian with a Y Johnson Blueprint, and he's trying to literally like elongate his life by just making really good health choices. But it's maybe an extreme, but you take one little piece out of that and you can make yourself better too. God, I love it. I absolutely love it. I appreciate your contribution, Kevin. Yolri, welcome home. I know you had an amazing time in Asia. Welcome home. Yolri, takeaways from today's session.
Well, I did join a little bit late, but I figured, might as well join later than not joining at all. And I think that's just what I'm thinking about coming into this week. It's been a little bit hard for me getting into real estate. I just became a realtor this year, but, having a different business as well as having 2 kids under 3 has been a bit of a challenge, but, I'm still going to show up. And
but you also have $1 million plus listing that just dropped as well, correct?
Yes, that's true.
I mean,
That's
so,
true.
so like you look at that listing
Uh-huh.
and then say, how much leverage points can I take from that one listing? The social
Mhm.
media, the videos, the door knocking, the community, the businesses, the restaurants, like you can leverage the fuck out of that one listing.
Yes, yes. So I'm going hard. I'm going strong, excited to be here. And I just love the energy of this group. It's just, it brings me so much joy, so much energy, and I'm glad that I joined. So, and thank you everyone for sharing your experiences and your motivation and your discipline as well. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Erin Grace. She's been such a great mentor. So thank you.
I love that you guys have this relationship too. And yeah, what a great resource, what a great person to have in your corner. So love
Thanks
it.
for
Appreciate
connecting
talking.
us, Elias.
You got it. Kwanzaa, let's hear from you, big dog. Let's hear your key takeaways from today's session.
I just want to thank everyone for sharing. Otis, man, heart goes out to you. Man, I know you got this, man. You know, you're man, dude. Anyone, you got the heart, you got the strength, you got everything you need, brother. And we're here for you. You know, one thing that resonated with me was when you asked the question, who do we need to show up? And what the way I interpreted that question is really about, you know, like, what is my identity? What, like, and for when I felt it was like Kwanzaa 2.0 is what one of my identities, especially when it comes to real estate or business, I'm the CEO. And I think lately I have fallen from that. And so I had to ask myself the question, would I have fired myself? And if I was to be honest, I probably would have fired myself a couple of times every week for the past couple of weeks. So this is, this was a great, coming back into this community, coming back into the group, and, refocusing and reminding myself that truth.
Wow, dude, that's powerful. For me, that hits home because, like, think about it. If you guys were the CEO, which you are, and you're running your own sales organization, would you keep yourself? Would you keep yourself? Right? We were at dinner last night, and I was at dinner with Kenny, and we were sitting there with actually a nurse practitioner and a nurse, really cool couple. And I said, there'll never, ever be a time where Kenny will say, hey man, can you work a little bit harder or do this? Like, I promise you, he'll never ask that of me. Never. He never have to. Right? And like, I like that question. Would you fire yourself or would you duplicate yourself right now? That's a powerful question, Quan. And you listen, I don't need that answer. You guys need that answer. And you guys need to look within and then look to the little babies and people in your lives and moms and people that are looking to you, for support. Answer to them. Don't answer to me. Quan, it's really, really hard. A really, really good question, man. So you guys, I'm actually end on that. I want to hear no more. I want to hear, like, would you fire yourself right now, being the CEO of your own organization? Would you fire yourself or would you keep yourself on staff? Yeah, that's really good. So you guys, I want to thank everybody once again. This is a time where we are super, super laser focused. I have a thought and I want to toy around with it. I'm thinking in January, and as we start the new year, I would like to do Monday sessions in person. And what I would like to do is I would like to take what's happening with this Monday Mayhem thing. And Monday Mayhem is that everyone gets together on a Monday. We do script role playing for about a half an hour, and then it's literally hours of prospecting. Now, since we have multiple offices, we can do that at different offices. And so kind of toying around with the idea, but if we were to do live prospecting sessions every single Monday, just to kind of get a quick survey, how many of you would be down for if we could do it, obviously at the different offices? You guys don't always have to, I'm not saying come to Oakland, not saying come to Stockton, but like, would you guys be down for that? We do a quick huddle, get some coffee, we high five, we do some quick script role playing, and then everyone goes about their business for 2-3 hours and just make a mad amount of phone calls, right? Because you can think about it. If we're doing it on a Monday, most of you have done some type of open houses. Well, if you haven't done open houses, I'm sure there's people to follow up with. If you don't have anyone to follow up with, go to the lead pond. If you don't have the lead pond, maybe you have Red X, maybe you have Vulcan 7, whatever it is. But like Monday that we just dive in and we're going around with high five. You got one? Yeah, you got one. Yes. And like, there's this energy, there's this excitement. So if you guys are down for something like that in the new year, I'd be down to put that on. I'll rotate throughout the offices. I'll be there. I'll support. but I'll probably need you guys to step up and be like, hey, I can man this one, or I can man this one. So that's what I'm thinking. Monday mayhem, different offices. We all report back at the end of the day how many appointments we set. So if you guys are down, interested in something like that, be on the lookout for more information. But you guys, I appreciate you more than you guys will ever know. And I'm really excited about this weekend doing the Spartan race with some of you. So as always, you guys keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. And if you need anything at all, I'm 100% available for you guys. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Peace.